Boy, how movie landscape is changing, people. Oh, my God.
Pretty soon we're going to be in control.
We might be getting an Ayer Cut for Suicide Squad. It's pretty amazing to see what's happening in the landscape right now. Like, this is a major win for what's going on with the Snyder Cut. I'm Greg, by the way. That's John.
Hi.
How you doing? We're the Real
Welcome.
Rejects. What's up? And this is this news came out like a day or two ago. So in movie news world, this is old ass news, but I did want to talk about it. It's certainly intriguing.
Oh, yeah.
Because with the Snyder Cut coming out officially, I think that's a beautiful thing, because you know that phrase we always hear filmmakers say, especially with properties that are franchise-based, like, this wouldn't be possible without the fans. This wouldn't be possible without the fans. Snyder Cut is the purest of examples.
Poster child of not possible without the fans.
This would not be possible at all without the fans. Someone tweeted AT&T, who I believe are the main ones responsible for helping to fund the HBO Max release of the Snyder Cut, because they're working in coordination with they're part of HBO Max, I believe. So this user M Meccano said, "Complete the gift and release the Ayer Cut, please, please, please." And AT&T said, "One thing at a time." Honestly, to respond to that in that way means they're at least trying to get there or considering it, right?
Yeah, I mean, if this piece of the dam broke with the Snyder Cut, you can only imagine that this was going to carry over. Yeah.
And David Ayer said, "Standing by." AT&T responded to David Ayer's tweet with an Enchantress photo. "Anything is possible. All it takes is a little bit of magic." And this is funny to me because Suicide Squad came out. When that came out, David Ayer stood by saying that is his director's cut. The theatrical version we got was a director's cut. People did notice, and like we all remember the behind the scenes of like after BVS and the response that happened with that, of how the studio was really going in and tampering with what David Ayer originally wanted to do. And I don't think most of us actually believe that was the original vision David Ayer had in mind.
He was just playing ball and not trying to rock the boat.
Exactly. I think most of us were on that train. There's an article I found. I was looking for it. I found it online. There's this great one from Screen Rant from many years ago that was basically going through all the moments in the Suicide Squad trailer that are not in the movie. What's funny to me about getting an Ayer Cut is that eventually we already got another cut, which is the extended edition of Suicide Squad, right?
Yeah.
Now, it's not exactly an Ayer Cut. It's just a few more scenes on top of. They don't like remix it in any way. There's
Like
nothing.
any unrated cut that comes out,
Yeah.
or they cram a couple things they deleted from what almost came out.
It's like just 10 to 15 minutes more. And honestly, like, the first time I saw Suicide Squad, we watched it together. I remember our review. I was thinking, like, I actually thought this was a lot of fun. If you watch our original review, I thought it was a lot of fun. Like, it's messy. When we watched the extended edition, and I felt bad because Warner Brothers sent us a copy of that.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, sure, why not? We're the few people who actually gave it a decent review. Then when I watched the extended edition on that rewatch, I just had a completely different experience.
I liked it even less.
And I was like, oh, no, I don't like this. And actually, with the extra footage, it makes me like Jared Leto's Joker even less. But a few months ago, David Ayer, I mean, I don't know if exactly a few months ago, but he did put out something here, because there's, in that article from Screen Rant, they did notice that in the big beam from Enchantress, that the designs of the those like putty henchmen that are in Suicide Squad are completely different in the Suicide Squad trailer. And then David Ayer put out a photo a while ago that said, "This is a mock-up parademon head that was 3D printed. I shot the image with my Nikon." Apparently, what the original plan was to do, put the parademons in there, possibly Steppenwolf would appear, then they would tie in closer to, Justice League, right? That was the original plan, apparently. David Ayer did say that there are hours of footage of Jared Leto as Joker collecting dust somewhere, and he originally planned, that's why you had to put it on the hard drive like Zack Snyder did. He originally planned for him to have a much larger plan in the DCEU. He also teased a larger, more fulfilling role for Harley Quinn, and she's doing fine. She's the only one who's really getting a lot of work since from Suicide Squad, and a stronger connection to Justice League, essentially. I don't know all the details of what exactly was in the Ayer cut. Because even in that Screen Rant article I found, it's mainly like little moments. Like a big thing that people were kind of hoping to see was this image right here. You got Jared Leto and Joker. He's got like a grenade in hand.
Yeah, and his face looks all burnt up.
Yeah, and so that moment's not in the movie. And that looks like a really cool moment, and I would like to see it. I don't think they will get any word on this until Snyder Cut comes out and they see how it performs.
Yes.
If it makes its money back, because they're throwing down about 20 to 30 million for it right now, reportedly, they're throwing about 20 to 30 million. Are people going to sign up for it? And what is the reception going to be to it? They're going to need to have both do well, not just money, but also critic reception. I know some people might argue with me on that, saying, no, it just needs to make money. Maybe. I think for this case, they're going to need fans to like it.
Yeah, especially because they are in a weird position now where they are acknowledging the vision that they made a sharp left turn from and have committed to following away from. So now that we have a kind of semi-established new iteration of the DCEU, there's also going to be, I think, some rectification of that confusion for people who aren't as in the know about this kind of thing, you know, who aren't following these stories along so much.
And we don't know the details of what all needs to be done. Like Snyder is saying for his version of Justice League, they'll need to do some additional reshoots, not just VFX touch-ups, but actually get some of the cast back involved to do some actual shooting of it. Now, I don't know if the Ayer cut needs that, because it sounds like there's just a lot of footage on the cutting room floor.
Yeah, it seems like the kind of project where they probably had the footage of a different movie and then went back and reshot even more to change it. So yeah, it might be less of an undertaking.
Yeah, so like apparently one thing that for sure David Ayer has commented on is that it is more character rich. There's more breathing room, yada yada yada. And for as much as is crammed in that 2-hour film, or I think it's like a little over 2 hours. I don't remember right now.
Felt like 3.
As much as crammed in there, one with that breathes better would be the biggest benefit to this. Now, why I think reception of a positive response for Snyder Cut beyond it just making money, but why the reception is important is because if fans don't like it, I just don't see a version where HBO Max would be inclined then to go, well, now let's do the Ayer Cut, because the DCEU was making a lot of money, then financial decline was happening with it.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, and it would be a repeat of the situation that they hopefully learn from, in the sense that, you know, you have Batman v Superman, which felt like an unsinkable ship at the time, and then, you know, that did well. Suicide Squad did well with the box office, but with those two poor returns on word of mouth, you know, you see Justice League's sharp dip, and I feel like, yeah, you're absolutely right. If people don't care that much for the Snyder Cut, they're going to be aware, I think, of that drop in the word of mouth and the meme that it, like, there's a lot of eyes on that movie because it has to be good. It just has to be good.
At this point, exactly. I would not buy into the argument of a lot of people didn't tune in for Justice League because of the behind-the-scenes situation that occurred. Because to this day, there's a lot of people around the world who really don't know what this is about. I've seen on not just our video comments, but on other people's going, wait, what is this Snyder Cut thing exactly?
Yeah.
Why is this a big deal? There are people who still don't really grasp it. Most people are not in tune so much necessarily with like the movie world nitty gritty behind the scenes and blah blah blah. So a lot of people don't really know what it is, you know. And Suicide Squad, I think, would have an even bigger hurdle of trying to push that. The calling for an Ayer Cut is nowhere near as prevalent.
It's my petition. Feel free to sign it.
I mean, I don't really hear, like the Ayer Cut sounded like a joke to me at first. I mean, it sounds like a plausible thing. It sounds like a real thing that I'm sure David Ayer would love to do, but it didn't really ever seem like it's ever had as much of a passion behind it as the Snyder Cut for Justice League. Obviously, I think everyone could agree on that.
Just from a filmmaker standpoint, it's actually the one I'd be more interested to see. Just because, you know, that movie seems like with Justice League, we at least know that a different filmmaker's stamp got put on it. We know roughly what Zack Snyder's stamp had been up to that point. But David Ayer, like, since the beginning of that whole process, I was like, he seems like a good choice for this. And then it went so left of that, you know, that I would love to see his actual film version, because I think he's a filmmaker still well suited to that project.
There's not so much passion behind it because like Zack Snyder had a 1, 2, and didn't get to do the proper part 3 to his film series that he was working on. This was just the first one, you know?
Yeah, it's more like David Ayer just didn't get to make his proper first impression.
Yeah, exactly. And on top of that, too, I didn't really care for Jared Leto's Joker the first time I watched it. I didn't hate it, but when I saw him in the extended version, I really didn't like him. Like, they had this full-on additional scene between him and Harley on the highway or on the road, something like that, and he just got on my nerves in that scene. I don't hear as many people championing to, like, we need more footage of Jared Leto to prove he actually did a good job. Now, maybe that's the case. Maybe with more footage and a different variety of scenes that, you know, you put them in a certain order, blah, 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 it might actually be better. It might actually be good.
Yeah,
you know?
and in a movie that has more room to move and breathe and be about characters instead of about which pop song you can throw in, you know.
Yeah, so I would be interested in seeing this. I never actually saw the actual petition going around. I bet there is.
Thanks, man, for all your support.
You email me, John, I'm going to ignore you. All right, just ask me. We work in the same office all day.
All right, I'll text Olivia.
I would be interested in seeing this.
Yeah.
I mean, like, why the hell not? The thing is, though, we will not hear a peep about this actually going into production until the Snyder Cut does come out, and depending on how that is received, financial, critically, audience, whatever, then we like, if that's good, I feel like there's like an 80% chance this will come out.
Yeah, because also you got to think that it does create this weird return investment where they're kind of making 2 movies out of one set of shoot footage. So even though they would have to dump some extra money into Suicide Squad, and I don't know if it'll be the tune that they're doing for Justice League, but I don't know. It seems like there is a potential for them in a way that, you know, making a whole new movie would kind of cost more for.
Yeah,
so.
And I'm not sure exactly what they're considering in terms of the fact that if they were to do this, and then James Gunn's, there's a lot of anticipation for his version of the Suicide Squad. You know, there's a lot of anticipation for that. A lot of people have a lot of faith that will actually be pretty damn good, considering James Gunn's track record, and then considering how DC has been. In my opinion, I think DC has been doing great.
Release the Jenkins cut.
Like, it's interesting to try to go back and course correct some of these things or make some of these better, because honestly, like, after Justice League, we got Shazam, Joker, Aquaman. And we like Birds of Prey, but, you know,
might be my favorite of all this.
I feel like DC's been doing really good lately, and we'll just have to wait and see. But guys, do you care about this one? Do you want an Ayer cut? The idea that AT&T is not shutting this down at all, and it's pretty much saying, let's just wait, and we're going to revisit this.
Hey, maybe this will become the new let's make a sequel just to part 1. Yeah. Let's go back and reshoot that movie we screwed up by making a bunch of rash financial decisions.
Probably. All right, guys, we'll leave your thoughts down below. If you guys like this video, make sure to subscribe. Please hit that like button if you enjoyed it too. And also make sure to click that notification bell to get notified whenever we got a YouTube video up. Last but not least, let's do a LB and Lance Dorr. So this is a fan fiction patron of the day shout out of What If These Two Met Each Other, written by John.
Get ready.
So
you're gonna love it.
I have no idea what I'm stepping into
right now.
Absolutely love it. John's strange stream of consciousness that forms in these.
Who do you want to play?
I'll play L.
All right, I'll be Lance Dorr, reprising my role of Lance Dorr.
And reprising my role of LB, it just makes sense. Cinematic Patreon crossover.
Exterior, Canada, afternoon. Sexy firefighter Lance Dorr stands in front of a burning Tim Hortons, fire hose in hand. Soon after, intrepid journalist LB shows up next to him with her trusty notepad.
Looks like things are heating up around here, and not because of your perfect firefighter's physique.
Aw, thanks, eh? It happens sometimes when I get too close to flammable objects. Figure you gotta finish what you start, so here I am.
That's very kind of you, Lance Dorr. Canadians are known for being kind.
It's true. Although, to be honest, the way people stereotype us sometimes just really makes me just want to,
understand where they're coming from, acknowledge the parts that are accurate, while also acknowledging their short-sightedness and ignorance, thus allowing yourself to release it?
That's exactly what I was gonna say.
You're so cool, Lance Dorr. I'm almost sad that you have such a
perfect, beautiful family.
Aw, that's alright. I think you're pretty cool as well, LB. Now, do you think you could doctor up that article you're writing to make it look like I didn't just set this place ablaze with my boyish charm and devilish good looks?
Lance, are you asking me to fabricate a piece of fake news?
Well, when you put it that way, I guess we ought to make this thing a full confession. The problem has gotten so out of hand that I can't continue using Firehouse resources like this.
Oh, well, hang on now. Maybe there's a way we can make this work in both of our favors.
Now that sounds Lance-tastic, LB. What is your ingenious plan? Smash 2, front page of the Arkansas Hollywood Reporter, showing Lance has just been cast as the Human Torch in Marvel's upcoming Fantastic Four reboot. Wow, thanks, LB. I know this isn't exactly the sort of journalism you've specialized in throughout your life, but then again, I'm not an actor.
Yet.
The two laugh as John Krasinski enters the room telling Lance to get his ass back on set and L to start writing the sequel.
I'm not a screenwriter.
Yet. The two laugh again as Lance's daughter is cast as Sue Storm.
You really know how to honor them.
The
John.
end.
You really know
The
how to
end.
honor them.
You know, it's all from the heart.